met a bunch of farmers, and I found out that it wasn't as easy for them to work with chefs. They didn't know how to get in the kitchen. They didn't know how to handle the, billing in terms and like how to build those relationships. I think it's really important to have everyone do what they do best. If your best thing is to go out and grow amazing whatever, you should be on your farm doing that and not.
All right, Jeff, thank you for that fantastic tour. I know I learned a lot. This is the first hydroponic farm that I've ever been to, so it was a real, it was a real honor to experience this and learn kind of how the basics of how it all works and the different advantages that hydro has compared to soil growing, and it was very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to sit down with you and kind of get into what you're now doing in addition to Profound Micro Farms, which is Profound Foods.
Profound Foods.
And so this is a food hub here in Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
And I'd love to hear more about it. So what is it all about?
I think some people hear food hub and they haven't heard what that is. Essentially, what we've done is we've had tremendous success growing a business working with our farm directly with chefs through no wholesalers or anything like that. We deliver ourselves. We built a lot of relationships. And we found that there was a lot of chefs that wanted to buy products that were grown in the soil, like root crops and other things that we didn't have, or meat products. And we started doing a lot of different events, and I met a bunch of farmers, and I found out that it wasn't as easy for them to work with chefs. They didn't know how to get in the kitchen. They didn't know how to handle the billing in terms and like how to build those relationships. And apparently marketing is not something that every farmer knows how to do.
Yeah, and doesn't want to do.
Or they don't want to do, right.
Yeah, a lot of farmers, they just want to be with the plants, growing the food.
On their little paradise in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and I completely can understand and relate to that as well. Yeah. And so that's why I think it's so cool what you're doing, because we need, as farmers, if we had easier ways to distribute and market and get the things out to people, it would take a lot of a stress off of us, where we could focus more on just the act of growing and creating the best quality produce possible. And
I think it's really important to have everyone do what they do best.
Yes.
And if your best thing is to go out and grow amazing whatever, you should be on your farm doing that and not out, trying to knock on doors and trying to figure out your market and that sort of thing.
And it's hard to do it all, because I like to say that farming is kind of one of the most complex businesses in the world, because you're dealing with live products, something that expires, fairly quickly, especially greens. So it's all the logistics of a normal business with sales, marketing, all of that, combined with all of the knowledge of all these different plants, the pests, the soil, in your case the hydro, the nutrients. There's a whole nother myriad of things you have to know for hydro. So if we can have systems that kind of take off some of that pressure of the sales and the marketing, it would really open up a lot of doors for a lot of farmers, and I think also people who want to get into this.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of farmers, it's going into it to farm and grow the food. That's the easy part, actually. The harder part is selling it and getting it to market. And
so that was actually my opposite problem. I kind of came from a little bit different background than a lot of farmers, I think. And my easy part was actually getting to the building the network and meeting the chefs. And I did sales and marketing before I had a real estate company. And
there you go. You had the skills.
I had that. And actually the hard part for me was figuring out how to grow. So then we had to figure out, how do we sell things, being that I'm not an awesome grower. So, we sold enough things so we could hire an awesome grower. And so now I've got, Megan is my farm manager, and she rocks.
So cool.
However, the building a relationships part, we had down, and I could see other farmers had trouble with that. So what we've recently created is we have a system that is an online ordering system. It makes it super easy for chefs. We still got relationships, and we're not trying to put everything off on technology, but we made it really easy. So right now we have 175 products from 14 local farms that are all in the North Texas area. In the last 20 months, we went from basically 0 chefs, so we have 49 restaurants right now that we sell to on a pretty weekly basis on most of them.
Wow.
And we've got a wide range from goat cheese to Wagyu beef, chicken, and then obviously we grow about 150 different kinds of leafy greens, edible flowers, microgreens, and herbs.
Wow, that's fantastic. So if a chef comes to you, or they've kind of got access to the best of what this local area has.
Yeah, we've helped curate that. So we give the growers and the farmers feedback. So sometimes that chef farmer, like it's a super cool dynamic, and the languages don't always translate. So chefs speak one language, farmers speak another.
Yeah.
And so being able to kind of give farmers the feedback that they need to give the exact perfect products that the chefs need, they're willing to pay for that. You know, we work with some of the best chefs in the, really in the state. And so the ability to help farmers know how to bring that to market, how do you get it to them? And then the silly kind of logistical stuff. How do you get paid?
Yeah.
You know, like at the end of the day, like you're going to get paid, and if you're working with hotels, they're going to pay you at a net 30 terms. Doesn't matter what your invoice says, like you're not getting a check there.
Yeah.
And then there's other ones that are like they want to pay you cash or something.
Yes.
So kind of managing all those accounts receivable is for me it was a challenging thing. I'm more of a sales and marketing, less accounting kind of guy, and so getting a system in place that manages that made a huge difference.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we found most successful in building Profound Foods is throwing a lot of parties. You know, it's really silly. We have a lot of people over.
Here at the farm.
Here at the farm, we do a lot here, and then we'll also do something that's closer to the chefs. So we're about 35 minutes north of the downtown area, which isn't too bad for people to come up. But it's been a kind of a fun time that there's a lot of fun stuff happening for farmers. So we'll have cocktails in the greenhouse, and then we'll have chefs out doing tastings. And at the same time, we're going to have all the other farms there, so we're cooking Wagyu sliders and chicken wings from another farm.
So kind of seeing some other products they might be interested in having out.
Yeah, and then building a lot of social validation between chefs. When one chef who's awesome is using a product and they brag about it on Instagram and such social media, all of a sudden 12 other chefs are sending you Instagram messages going, "Hey, can I get your product?" That kind of thing. So
like that wasabi mustard we tried earlier. That thing
the wasabi arugula.
So good. Oh, the wasabi arugula. Yeah, that was amazing.
That is one of my favorites. That blows people's minds.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Cool. So you mentioned the online ordering system. I'm really curious about that. That's something I'm rebuilding my website right now, and it's something I want to take a lot of the sales off of my plate, so I'm not having to do anything. The customer goes, custom picks. It's they've already paid me.
Yeah.
I just harvest, prep, pack, and then I sell it to them at the market, or they pick it up from the farm. However, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
So the online we bought some software. It's called Local Food Marketplace.
Local Food Marketplace.
And it's more of a food hub software than a farm software. It wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, not even on my farm scale. Only because we're working with lots of farms.
Okay.
And they made it really easy. It's phone optimized, so a chef is super busy. They're not sitting down to get on their computer. So they'll just get on their phone, they'll scroll through, they add the item to it, they can put notes on any item. So basically they can say, bring me nasturtium leaves, but no bigger than a quarter. So that way we can give them exactly what they're looking for.
I'm sure they like that a lot.
And then it also has the ability to save ACH payments. So ACH is an automatic debit from your account with no fees. It'll save credit cards, which we try and kind of discourage because I don't like paying the extra fees.
Right.
And then we also can do terms. So if you're working with hotels, they will not save a credit card. You're gonna get a check in 30 days kind of thing.
I see.
So it handles all of the payments, handles all the ordering, which is great. And then the neat thing for us is it actually produces a producer pick ticket. So there's a cutoff. That's when the chefs have to stop ordering for the next day's delivery.
Okay.
So then you, on your farm, would get an email at midnight that says, hey, you want to get 2 pounds of this, 4 whatever's of this, a bushel of this. And then you'll know what to harvest. And then your job is to go harvest that and bring it to me before the set time.
Wow.
And then we load it on our truck. First we divide it into the bins going to each restaurant. So each delivery truck is doing about 36 restaurants a day right now.
Okay.
Or one's doing 36, the other one's doing the balance.
Wow.
And then they're going to get their bin, and it's going to have your radishes and my greens and somebody else's whatever in it.
Wow. So then are all the veggies put in your boxes and then take the Profound Foods boxes? Or is
essentially,
it all...
we're just using those collapsible totes like a regular vegetable tote.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that we have right now is in clamshell, so we'll have ours in there, and then if it's in a bag, it'll go in there, and then we'll just we need them to stack for the van so we can maximize the amount of room in a van. And then all the proteins will go into coolers, so they're sealed and food safe. So there's no proteins mixing with veggies or anything like that.
We wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Be clear about that one, right?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest problems for chefs, we had a couple of chefs that we were working with that worked with multiple farmers already. And then I went and I just sit in there. I just kind of sit and pay attention for a while. I like to watch what happens in a commercial kitchen. And there'd be like 4 or 5 farmers that would come in, and the chef stops their work. They go talk to the farmer. And then they go, some of them were like writing a check, and so they're not cooking, well, they're writing the check. They're dealing with 16 invoices from 16 farmers.
Yeah, it's not manageable.
Now they're able to get one automatic payment, so there's no more check writing. They're getting one farmer, one person's delivering it. Yeah. And then the biggest point for us with Profound Foods is a lot of the distributors are losing the individual farms. So that chef then got to meet 16 farmers and have relationships with them. If they sell to a distributor, then all of a sudden they don't get to know those chefs anymore. They don't know where their products are going. So your pick ticket is going to say this restaurant, this restaurant, this restaurant. You're going to know that. They're going to know that it's coming from your farm because we're highlighting your farm.
Like their labels on the thing.
Labels on the thing. Yeah. You're on the website. You're like every part of it says the individual farms.
Exactly. Yes.
And there's a risk for us that our chefs could go around us. And go straight to the farmer. Right. But our goal is just provide so much value that no one would want to do that. Right. They don't want to get multiple deliveries and multiple invoices. And we want to make it easy, removing friction.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know that's something I thought about too. Like, the chef's got to deal with all these different farmers, and like, why would they want to deal with even if the produce is way better and way fresher, the hassle and all that time to deal with all these separate people is going to discourage them from working with us, and they're going to go towards that big distributor because they can get it all in one place.
It's easy.
So this is why I think that doing this food hub system is such a game changer, because now they're being incentivized to buy local and more naturally grown food.
Yeah, making it easy for them. And then the fun part for us has been working to coach the farmers on how do you work with chefs. How do you successional plant? I had a guy call me last week and he's like, hey, listen, my whole arugula field's ready. And I was like, how much are you going to have each week? And he goes, I got 2 weeks worth of arugula.
Oh, no, yeah.
What's the chef going to do with 2 weeks worth of arugula? They're going to put it on the menu. We need to work on planning a little bit each week. And so there's a lot of, it's been fun for us. We get to work with just amazing growers and then, teach them how to better work with chefs. And the chefs are getting much better product and they're getting an easier result.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't even think about the training aspect of it. And, kind of taking other people, newer growers under your wing, and this is how the industry works, and this is, that's what we need to be doing to, take this whole thing to the next level.
And I'm not an awesome grower, so it's been perfect for me because I go ask them questions. I'm a new grower, I didn't have a farm before this or anything, so it's been fun to be like, hey, how do you do that? And that's the bringing people together is where the magic happens. That's really funny. That's why the chef gets to know you guys, because we're going to put 50 farmers in a room and 20 chefs, and then let them mingle and hang out.
We're just feeding off of each other and learning more. And that's what I'm seeing happen throughout this whole industry over the last 10 years, I guess. Is like it's changed into this model of synergy, and where we're all going to the next level because we're teaming up. There's still competition, but it's done in a way that all of our ships are rising at the same time.
Exactly.
But the competition helps because then we're making better products.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see all this happening right now.
Yeah, it's fun. I think probably the most important question that you didn't ask me is how does it work financially for the farmer?
Oh, yeah.
So this
is
that's the one that comes up all the time, right? So essentially what Profound Foods does is we allow all of our farmers to set their own prices.
Okay.
We're not dictating, we're not running markets or anything like that. So you set your own price, and then we have a 20% margin that we need to have to pay for our delivery trucks and marketing and advertising and stuff like that. So you set your own price. The system, you're going to put in there, you want $10, the system's automatically going to charge the chef $12. We're being really clear, it's open, everybody knows what's happening, and for the chef, it's worth it. They know they can buy directly from you for 10, but they're willing to pay me 12 because it makes it so much easier. And so if you price your things way higher than what chefs are going to pay, it's just simply not going to sell. So part of our job is coming to coach you of hey, you're not getting $30 a watermelon. You know what I mean? Or whatever that is. So it's really pretty good system so far, and it's working out. And we're also going to coach you of hey, don't sell a $1 head of lettuce because you're going to bring everybody down. Let's get these kind of better price that they're willing to pay a little bit more for a locally grown, better product kind of thing.
And this has kind of been one of the main problems for especially larger farms when they're working with these distributors. They get undercut like crazy. The distributors, the middleman makes all the money. The farmer gets screwed out of most of their profit. So with this setup, this is fantastic. This is what needs to be happening. Now farmers are making a real living. Now more younger people, other people will get into this field because they see that the money is available for them. They can actually make a living and have a life. They're not going to be in debt their whole life.
And how you make money as a farmer is you build your brand.
Right.
Where people are willing to pay a little bit more because they know they're getting a quality or they're getting value of some sort. So what my goal is to help small farmers build their own brands. It's not about Profound. It's about your farm.
Right.
And how do I sell your farm to those chefs? And then they can put your name on their menu, not Profound's name, but your farm's name. And then you can charge a little bit more for your stuff because they're going to know you got a premium product and you got people calling.
This is so fantastic.
It's fun.
Yeah. Wow, Jeff. Yeah, thank you so much for what you're doing, and you're showing everybody the model, I guess, of how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of a future plan of yours as well.
Don't give away all my secrets.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Yeah.
I want to, though. Come on.
Yeah.
But this is, I've kind of thought about a similar idea to this.
Yeah.
Where I thought about nature's always right. Like, what if I'm the brand, and all the growers, they're having problems selling, but all the chefs, they know who I am and how I grow, and then I can help them to grow in those certain natural methods, so that now I'm controlling the market and how food is actually grown, not some regulation, not some distributor or something. It's all done through a brand that is trusted.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so cool. Like, you did it. Like, it's
so part of it for us, when we originally it was me and another farmer at Cardamere Farms that came up with this idea, because we were helping each other deliver, and we had the same chef. So our first idea for a name was going to be North Texas Sustainable Food Hub. We're like, hey, it kind of says exactly what we are. But then what we realized is that we built this Profound brand on quality and consistency, and our goal is to work with chefs. So that's why we came up with Profound Foods. And when my buddy said it, it was like, it clicked, and it goes, that's it. Yeah. It makes sense, because the chefs already know the brand.
Yeah, exactly. And the word profound, I love the sound of it.
I got to give my wife 100% credit for that one.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
she did great.
That's so cool. My mom came up with the name for my farm as well. So,
awesome.
Yeah, so it's family.
Keep it in the family.
That's right. Yeah, farming is a family business.
Totally.
For sure, so it's fantastic. I'm just so impressed, and I can't wait to see how Profound Food grows, and what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff in store.
Yeah, absolutely. So be sure to follow Jeff's farm on Instagram. It's Profound Micro Farms.
Yep.
Profound Foods on Instagram is the Food Hub. Highly recommend following both of them, so that you guys can see how kind of this is evolving over time, and what it turns into, because this is something that needs to be replicated across the country, across the world. This is how we as small farmers take back control of the food system, take it out of the hands of the government and big ag, the people who have destroyed the food system. Right. This is how we take back control, and we make a really great living, as we should, because we're providing so much value to our fellow humans. Thanks again, Jeff, for doing this interview with us, and can't wait to come back in the future and hear about the new things you're doing.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.